So, in this third module, descriptive statistics, we are going to discuss about multivariate descriptive statistics. So, this is the next session. So, in this session, we are going to discuss about why we are going for multivariate analysis, why it is useful and important. Some techniques, there are a number of techniques, so we are going to see some of the techniques which is used in linear analysis. So, for example, we saw descriptive statistics. How we are going to describe and present the data is some sort of spot question which should trigger in our mind. Whenever we are talking about statistics, we are going with rational inference and multivariate analysis for projecting the data, categorizing the data, and inferring the data for our results. So, three important criteria we will be seeing whenever we are going for describing and presenting our data to target audience in terms of researchers and so on. So, one is accuracy, second one is consciousness, and third one is understandability. So, researchers should always present their own data in ways that actually represent the data. So, numerical data can be classified as percentage or graphs. Whenever we are doing percentages, it means it is going to reflect means for us. Whenever we are going to state a graphical, it is going to represent graphs for us. So these are the two varieties by which we can represent data. So relational statistics, we all know that we are going ahead with univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. So we have dealt with univariate, which is something that we are going to describe one variable for a subpopulation. Example, in terms of age of murders. So the next one is bivariate, study of relationship between two variables. Here we can discuss that to be correlation, what we are going to deal with. The next one is multivariate, study of relationship between three or more than three variables, that is multi-correlation present between our settings. So many variables. Commonly, we are going to have many relevant variables in market research surveys. Example, one not a typical survey which is going to hold 2000 variables. Typically, researchers pour more many cross-tabs. However, it can be difficult to make sense of this, and the cross-tabs may be misleading as well. So, MVA can help summarize the entire data. So, factor analysis and segmentation based on the agreement ratings can be of some sort of additive statements. So, MVA can also reduce the chance of obtaining the result for us. So, mainly we are going for relevant variables in market research. We are going for summarizing the data so we have the, we are going for reduction in the chance of obtaining some sort of suspicious results. So the next one is MBA. Two general types of MBA techniques are analysis of dependence, analysis of interdependence. So where one or more variables or dependent variables to be explained and predicted by others is called to be as a dependence. For example, we can go with some sort of principal regression techniques, multiple regression techniques, and MDAs. Analysis of interdependencies means no variable is going to be of dependent with any of these settings. So you are going to look at the relationship among the variables or objects or cases. So example, you are going to have some sort of example in terms of cluster analysis, factor analysis. The next one is Simpson's paradigms. So this is some sort of technique of MBA. So here we are having some sort of example in which we are having two sort of category in terms of column category in terms of male and female, and we are having three set of row attribute in terms of accept, refuse entry, and total. So here we are having 44% of male applicants and 33% of female applicants for some sort of application called for. So this sort of discrimination is looking somewhat unfair. So university investigates and it breaks down the figures for engineering as well as for English programs. So we are going for not an equal discrimination. In this figure, we are having unfair discrimination by any chance. So no relationship between sex ratio and acceptance for either of the program. So no evidence of discrimination, how it has happened. So for engineering, we're having some sort of snippet in terms of male candidate 30, female candidate 10, and reference entry you are having for male 30 and female 10. Total you are having 60 and 20. So in English, you are having the acceptance level. In English form, you are having the acceptance level to be as for male you are having 5, for female you are having 10. For refuse entry, you are having for male 15 and female 30. For total, you are having for male 20 and female 40. So why? So more females apply for the English program, but it is hard to get into English program for the female candidates. More males apply to engineering, which has higher acceptance rates than female. So you must look deeper than a single cross step to find out this how this discrimination went unfair, and what is the evidence of this unfair discrimination at the onset. So we have to somewhat standardize our variables in so much of category. So whenever we are going for standardizing this multivariate analysis in normal terms, we are having some sort of challenges. So often in some sort of times, multivariate analysis, the independent variables have different scales. So that is the first challenge for us. It is going to have differences. We can't able to analyze what we are going to do with that number of variables. Then next one is we have to see that some of the variables may have very larger value while others are very small. So variables may not contribute equally to analysis due to the difference in scale. So you are going to have so much of scales inside multivariate analysis, which is far more difficult. So these are going to be some sort of challenges. So multivariate statistics is nothing but it is going to be a subdivision of statistics, which is going to emphasize the simultaneous observations and analysis of more than one outcome variable. So we are going to have some sort of definition whenever we are going to study the statistics. In terms of multiple measurements, we have to make some sort of experiments. So the experiment is going to throw some sort of unit and measurement and structure model, which is more important. So here we are going to have three sort of categories in multivariate analysis. For example, if you are going to have a variable in terms of x1, which is going to have the scale of 1 to 100, and variable x2, which is going to have a scale of 1 to 10. So both the things are having more than two variables. So using these variables without any sort of standardization, we could have the result of x1 and x2. But x1 is having some sort of larger variable values, which is going to influence the result of last. So to minimize this scaling effect, the original data can be transformed so that the ranges of new variables can be compactable inside the original sets. And data variability is going to be reduced in any sense. Thus, if we are having more than two variables, we can standardize the multivariable analysis to give more accurate results at last. So some sort of common standardization methods are also included in multivariate analysis. For example, if you're having the scale from 0 to 1, each variable in the data set is going to be recalculated. It is going to throw some sort of min-max and boundary variable. So variable is going to have different names and standardizations, but equal ranges. So also at least one variable has a value of 0, another is going to have the value of 1. Then next step is you can divide each value of the data set by ranges. Variables can have different means and standard deviations, but similar ranges for each and every row. That is some common standardization method. The next one is zero scaling. So each variable in the data set is recalculated as so and so. All the variables in the data set have mean equal to 0 and variance equal to 1, but different ranges. If you are going for zero scaling, you can go with different ranges. Summary is that multivariate analysis is used for describing analysis of data where there are multiple variables or observations for each unit or individual. Oftentimes, these data are interrelated and statistical methods are needed to fulfill the objective of the researcher. So this is for multivariate analysis which is present for the raw data set. Thank you all.